KiwiSylveon, and welcome back to Seduce Me to the Demon War. In the last episode, oh my god, we made love to Matthew, and now Matthew has broken free of his father's control, and now he's ticked off. And yeah, let's go.
How can this be? Impossible!
Yeah, impossible because you don't know enough. Nobody loves you, Demon Lord.
You expected me to follow your orders, you sick bastard!
I stared wide-eyed as Matthew turned around and summoned a new weapon into his fist. A dark blue aura emanated from his body, flickering like flames as he stared the Demon Lord down.
You will never convince me to kill the ones I love.
Aww.
Insolent brat!
Call him a brat again and you get slit. Oh, wait. The Demon Lord gritted his teeth before sharply extending his hands toward Matthew's mother. We could only watch as red ethereal chains shot out from the Demon Lord's back toward Aezera, wrapping around her form and crushing her.
No!
Stop it!
Your energy, woman!
Faster than we could react, the red lightning began to surround and shock Aezera's bound form. The red energy traveled through the chains holding her hostage and into the Demon Lord's body, making him glow a terrifying blood color. A large sword formed from the Demon Lord's hands, arcing it with the red lightning. Matthew's first sword, which was impaled in the Demon Lord's stomach, crumbled into ash and fell to the floor, leaving a black scar mark. The Demon Lord's eyes, however, fixed themselves on Matthew's form with deadly intent.
I'll kill you!
Faster than I had thought imaginable, Matthew stepped forward and vanished, only to reappear in front of the Demon Lord with his sword held high. As Matthew swung his weapon down, however, the Demon Lord held out his hand and forced Matthew back with a burst of energy. Matthew skidded backwards, crossing his sword over his body to shield himself from the blast. As the energy faded, the Demon Lord's lips curled into a crazed smirk.
Then come, little boy! Show me what you can!
The Demon Lord stopped, staring at Matthew as his body froze. I hitched my breath. What was happening?
Enough!
Aezera, you little bitch. You sneaky bitch. Everyone turned their heads towards Matthew's mother, seeing her hold the chain that connected her and the Demon Lord in a tight grip. Her body was shaking, but the rage in her eyes could make any demon fall to their knees.
I will not let you hurt my son!
Mama Bear is active. You activated Mama Bear. Goodbye. Before the Demon Lord could turn and do something, a large bolt of blue energy shot through the chain into the Demon Lord's back, causing him arch back and scream in pain. Karma, bitch. Karma. Matthew grabbed onto me and covered me with his body as Diana blocked her face with her arms. The magic was so powerful, the room began to shake violently. Holy shit, Aezera. I watched from the cracks of Matthew's arms as dark black and red energy traveled down the chain from the Demon Lord into Aezera's body, making her body pulse and grow in power. The Demon Lord, however, became weaker and surprisingly become much more frail.
You are my...
I am not yours any longer!
Woo! Go Aezera! Another heavy blue bolt rushed through the chain and into the Demon Lord's body, causing a splash of blood to jet from the Demon Lord's mouth. Matthew finally stepped away from me and began to walk at the Demon Lord, forming a sword in his hand. He has a lot of those, doesn't he? As he did, the Demon Lord collapsed onto the floor and onto his hands and knees and growled animalistically at his son.
It's over.
What surprised me was the smirk that graced the Demon Lord's bleeding lips and the chuckle that erupted from it.
You are indeed the perfect son.
Without another word, Matthew raised the sword and rammed it into the Demon Lord's neck, effectively pinning him to the ground and killing him. A bubbly cry of pain barely escaped the Demon Lord's mouth as his eyes glazed over. Dead. My heart felt major relief, shaking a bit as a weight lifted off my soul. The Demon Lord was dead less. I was free and we could go home. Diana spat to the side, catching my attention.
To think his own wife and son would be the ones to kill him. What have I been doing for the past 10 years?
I couldn't stop the amused smile on my face as Diana walked up beside me, rubbing her neck in irritation. You weakened him a bit for them, I'm sure. Diana rolled her eyes as Matthew finally rushed up to the dais and towards his mother.
Mother!
Zakeru!
Aww, family hug. But I want my Matthew back, please. His mother wrapped her arms around Matthew, squeezing him to her. Matthew hugged back just as tightly in time, joyous to see her freed from the Demon Lord's power.
I'm right here. It's gonna be okay.
I was beyond happy for Matthew. His mother was safe now, and the Demon Lord was defeated. I could feel some sort of weight lift off my shoulders, knowing that the curse had been broken with his death. I smiled as I watched Aezera cry in Matthew's arms. Before I could step forward to join them, however, Diana placed her hand in front of me, glaring ahead of her. I looked up at her with a very surprised face. Diana?
Stay back.
I'm going to listen to her. I nodded, unsure of why she wanted me to stay away. However, the intense expression on her face sent fearful chills down my spine as she scowled at Matthew and his mother. Was something seriously wrong? I turned my head back to the pair, watching and wondering what was going on.
My sweet Zakeru. You're finally home.
She is so cute, but I hate her.
Of course I am. I had to save you, right?
Wait. Matthew, you do know that you actually came to save the main character, right? Not your mother? You do remember that, right? Right? Aezera smiled and kissed Matthew's forehead, slowly rising to her feet with him. As she fully stood, something in the air changed. The room became a little more peaceful and bright as Matthew turned toward me and Diana.
I guess I can finally introduce you to my fiancée. She helped in saving you.
Aezera smiled very softly and looked to Diana, passing over me. What? I felt a little angry at being ignored, but I understood. Why is my Twitter exploding? That's the thing I'm worrying about. There we go. What? Oh, but I understood. She wouldn't expect a human to be his future wife.
The princess of Lilith's kingdom is your intended?
Matthew's face is like, no, fuck it. No, 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 mother. No, no. Hell no.
What? No, no, no. Not her.
Before Matthew could step toward me, however, Azera's face delicately scrunched up at the side of me. What the?
Why is a human here?
Oh, shit.
Huh? Mom, that's my fiancé.
Aw, love you too, Matthew. The atmosphere suddenly changed again. God damn this atmosphere. They need to get checked. The air became colder, and something wasn't right. Something in Azera's eyes changed too, becoming hard and vicious.
A human?
Yes? Don't yell at me. I'm sorry. I love your boy very, very much.
Yeah?
It's like, yeah, mother, don't be mean. Aezera locked eyes with me, and I suddenly gasped and became lost in my mind, detached from my body. I couldn't move anything or speak a single word, and her eyes remained their icy blue color. What was happening?
Human? Who are you?
Oh, I'm nobody. I'm just Jenna, fiance to your son, sister to 4 others who are married to his brothers and are probably going to kill you if you kill me, and then he's going to get pissed off. And let's see, I'm a very special human. I got lots of energy. I got magic. I fought against a demon. I fought against a devil. Matthew's my true love. Anything? No? Okay. I am no one. I'm no one. I'm an armored slut, used for energy and sex. What? Matthew stared at me, completely shocked at what I said. I, however, could only stare at Zeta, whose gaze continued to burn into mine.
You are not expecting to be with my son, correct?
A human like me is not worthy.
Dimitira iam.
Google Translate, come to me. According to this, it says divorce her. Oh, Google Translate, you make me crack up in laughter. Instantly, my mind was my own again, and I realized a gasp of surprise. Apparently, I can talk. See, she had. I collapsed into Diana's arms as she reached out to catch me. Aezera looked to Diana, offense clearly written across her features.
How dare you!
Matthew, get away from her!
What is going on?
I looked up and watched as Aezera glared at her own son and placed a hand on his chest. Her hand was engulfed in dark blue glow that spread to the taint on Matthew's skin. Some sort of invisible force pulled Matthew back and slammed his body into the Demon Lord's throne.
Ah!
Matthew! As his body came to rest against it, blue chains wrapped around the throne and Matthew's body. The chains began to glow and tighten around him, locking him in place.
Filthy human bitch! You don't belong in this world, and you will never have my son!
Well, too bad to you, bitch. I had him 2 years ago. I've had him ever since we had made love 2 years ago, you bitch. You're the bitch, by the way. Of course I don't belong in this world, by the way. I was just brought here by your fucking husband. But Matthew's mine. I've always had him. I've had him for 2 years. Ha ha.
Mother, what are you?
Your mother's not here anymore, Matthew.
What?
She's been connected to the Demon Lord for too long. She's gone mad.
Mad? I am speaking truth! The king of the demon world has no need for a disgusting human!
Don't call me disgusting, bitch.
What?
I like his voice. It's like, what? King of the demon world?
I'm afraid you are mistaken.
How am I mistaken? The demon lord is dead, so his son must take the throne!
The Demon Lord is dead. The rebellion has usurped the throne. Your son no longer has claim to it.
Sorry, I yawned. I'm sorry, I'm tired.
The rebellion merely paved the way for the true king to ascend to the throne! My son was always destined to take it, and your little siege helped him achieve his fate!
Yeah, now I'm seeing why you're insane.
Mother, stop!
Enough, Sekedu!
The chain around Matthew's body tightened and he winced and choked out a gasp of pain. I instinctively reached out and tried to move towards him, but Diana held me back, protecting me still. Aezera looked at him with a sad expression, tears almost filling her eyes.
When you left, I was so alone. I didn't understand. I always asked, why? Why did my own son leave me here? You broke my heart. But then I realized it was part of your destiny.
Did you go into James's head somehow and realize that... I'm so confused. In James's route, we know he's in a stone destiny. Does it... are you psychic? I'm so lost right now. Because, A, how would Aezera know of destiny? Considering demons don't really believe in that. And B, did she go into James's route somehow? She could defy laws and everything to go into James's route and say, hey, I should do that with my son. I should give him a destiny that seems like his own.
Mother,
You were merely preparing to take the throne.
Okay, you
needed
are
to
crazy.
experience the human world before returning and taking your rightful place when the time was right. That's why you joined the rebellion.
no, that's not true. I came because the Demon Lord cursed.
Listen to yourself. You are a demon, Sekedu. You are the son of the Demon Lord, destined for greatness. Why are you fighting this?
Because you're a bitch. Matthew pulled and struggled against the chains he was trapped under, no longer answering his mother. Aezera, however, turned to me and Diana, rage dancing within her eyes.
You poisoned his mind. You enslaved my son!
Actually, it's the other way around. He poisoned my mind, but in a good way. And he enslaved me in a good way. So, fuck off, bitch. Diana, she's being mean. What? That wasn't true. I loved him and he loved me. This wasn't supposed to happen. Why was Matthew's mother doing this? Was she truly insane? Diana placed an arm on my shoulder, causing me to look up at her.
Don't bother listening to her. Her mind has been consumed by madness.
Okay, I won't.
And you, Princess of Lilith! You dare oppose this kingdom? You swore your allegiance to the heir of the Demon Lord! Yet you march here with an army bent on destroying the kingdom that you had pledged yourself to!
Aezera, let me talk to you once, girl. She was promised to James, not Matthew. James, say it with me, James, or Restrau, not Zakeru. No, Zakeru was nowhere near that. And B, they left to get away from him. So, yeah, you need to reaffirm your little information there, though, sweetie. But fuck you.
The Demon Lord broke his promise and murdered my family while I was in the human world doing his dirty work.
Thank you, Diana.
My vow changed accordingly, and I swore that I would see his kingdom fall. A whipped woman like you would never understand.
Ooh, she called you whipped?
Whipped! I merely waited for the chance to kill him so that my son could take his rightful place! Let's not forget that I was the one to strike the final blow on the bastard!
Incorrect. It was Matthew, not you. I mean, sure, you weakened them, but fuck. Matthew's the one.
I am warning you now. Stand down.
The room became filled with the dark energy as Aezera glared hard at Diana, her eyes glowing a deadly gold color. However, Diana seemed unaffected by her gaze, returning the venomous look with a cold, red-eyed stare.
Such arrogance! You truly think you can stand against me?
Speaking of standing, you are a fat motherfucker. You're a fat. You got fat thighs, bitch. Fuck you. And them are definitely baby birthing hips. Holy shit. I'm surprised Matthew doesn't have siblings. I mean, actual siblings from her.
If it means finishing the job and freeing the world from madness, then yes.
Then yes. Aezera snarled before a blue aura melted to form. Her eyes began to flicker between her natural eye color and gold as the room adapted to an eerie chill. Again, will someone please fix the environment here? It changes on a split second. I might get sick from this.
Then, allow me to clear the field of useless trash!
You gonna start with yourself, please? What I didn't expect was Aezera shooting a blue and black chain at me, a large blade jutting out at the end, intent on running me through. Before I could scream, however, I was pushed back and fell onto the ground, the air in my lungs rushing out and leaving me breathless. As I managed to look up, I saw Diana standing in front of me, wings splayed out wide behind her, twitching in furious rage. The chain in question had been knocked away and vanished into the air.
I won't let you touch her.
Thank you, Mama. This is my mama now. Aezera, meet my mama, Diana. She is very protective of me. And your son is mine, and yeah. Aezera, please kill her.
Has the human world tainted you too? You're defending a human! You claim that I am the one who is mad!
Yeah, you're very mad.
Stop it!
Oh! Matthew!
Quiet!
You dare tell your son to quiet? With a violent wave of her arm, Aezera cast some sort of black mist over Matthew's mouth. Bitch! As it took physical shape, a large blue steel mask, the shape of a bird's beak, formed over Matthew's nose and mouth, completely covering the lower half of his face. How dare you, you bitch! Diana, please kill her. Please kill Aezera. I'm done. I'm done with her. Goodbye.
This is for you, Cicadu. Let me finally give you the world you deserve.
Fuck you. Aezera looked back to Diana, rage fueling her glare as the cold gold color over her irises.
I will warn you now, Queen of the Rebellion. You stand against a pure-blooded succubus.
The way she says that.
Not think you have any
Succubus.
advantage over me. In fact, I am stronger than you can ever hope to be.
The way she said succubus is awesome. It's like pure-blooded succubus. It's like she gets turned on by her own, like, way of speaking? Her speech? She gets turned on by her speech. Another pure-blooded succubus? I knew Diana was, but I thought she was the only one. How could there have been another? Aw, Diana, protect me, please. Diana's quiet chuckle, however, broke me from my thoughts.
I recognize the strong scent of lilies. At least this fight will be interesting.
Aezera's like, what the fuck, bitch? Excuse me? You know what I'm saying? Like, gotcha, bitch. Something in Diana's voice had changed, shooting shivers down my spine. I recognized her tone of voice. The cruel Diana was back. Yay, a round of applause for the cruel Diana. However, Diana's hand reached back to me. What was she doing?
Human, give me some of your energy. I don't need much to defeat this woman.
Go for it. I didn't want this to happen, but Diana needed to fight her. Aezera had already thrown me once, and I knew I was no match for her. I took Diana's hand, feeling her quickly drain some energy from my body. The taint around her forearm began to pulse and glow slightly at the new energy in her body, but Diana didn't hold on for long. Diana pulled her hand back and began to chant quietly, waving her hand in the air by her head.
Enough talk! Die!
You die first, bitch. At the sound of Aezera's words, a volley of chains rushed out from behind her body and shot themselves toward Diana. Before they could reach her, however, Diana formed a familiar saber in her hand, firing them all and knocking them all away from her. As they fell, the suddenly lifeless chains vanished into the ground, making Aezera growl.
You're too slow. All of those years under the Demon Lord's body must have taken a toll on you.
Ooh!
You insolent bitch!
Catfight! Diana suddenly shot herself into the air and swooped towards the other succubus, raising her saber and swinging to decapitate Aezera. Yeah, that's how you say it. Decapitate. However, all Diana hit was a suddenly vaguely absurd image.
What?
Before my eyes, Aezera appeared behind Diana, floating in the air, with a large chain ready to slam down on Diana's head. Diana! Diana quickly dodged to the side, knowing what my scream meant. However, the chain slammed itself onto Diana's left wing, causing her to dip and fall to the ground. Her body bounced off the marble surface she had landed on her stomach, knocking the wind out of her.
Ah! A succubus relying on wings? A bit old-fashioned. You really are from Lilith's bloodline to still depend on that method!
Diana snarled and looked up at Aezera, gripping her injured wing. It looked broken, twitching in pain under Diana's fingers. However, the wing quickly reshaped itself and folded properly, as if it had never been broken in the first place. Diana smirked as Aezera stared in shock.
It may be old-fashioned, but I make it work.
Yeah, she does. Kill her, Diana, please. With that quip, Diana flew at Aezera again, her wings flapping as she sailed through the air for an accelerated boost. Aezera glared before dispelling her chains and flying at Diana in return, meeting her halfway. Catfight. Literally catfight. Both of the women began to brawl and swipe at each other in the air, exchanging kicks and punches, and either blocking the other's strikes or dodging them. I, however, looked to Matthew. He was still struggling against the chains around him, pulling roughly one way then the other to try to find some leeway. His hands were bound to the armrests, leaving him no chance to use his powers to summon anything. think it really matters after this. Yes, Sam, I see you. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. But Jenna would actually... So, wait for Diana to finish Aezera, because she knows that Matthew won't be hurt. Diana and Aezera finally shot away from each other, and Diana landing near me, and Aezera landing beside Matthew.
Enough fooling around! You'll never outmatch me! Just surrender!
Crowing like a proud bird won't convince me of your strength. If you claim to be stronger than me, then prove it!
Once more, Diana charged at Aezera, zipping through the air like a bullet. From the shadows around Diana, lines of blue chain shot forth and reached for Diana's body. The chains quickly wrapped themselves around Diana's arms, legs, and encircled her neck and waist, squeezing her tightly. A choke garble managed to escape Diana's throat as the chains began to pull her limbs in opposite directions. My mind flashed back to the nightmare I had before I arrived. Diana was chained in the air in the shape of a star, being pulled apart. However, this time it was Aezera who was pulling the chains. Aezera laughed hysterically as she looked up at Diana's body, seeing the results of her sneak attack.
Such a shame, Princess of Lilith! Do you not like that? I thought you wanted me to prove my strength!
You sadistic bitch.
What a pitiful sight you are! Is that the best you can do, Princess of Lilith?
You're a bitch. With a snap of Aezera's fingers, blue bolts of lightning ran down the chain and shot into Diana's form, causing her to release her heavy garbled scream into the air. Diana, no! I had to think of something quick. I needed to save Matthew and Diana, but were both possible, especially with a barrier in the way? My mind instantly thought of Cyril. He had holy magic, so maybe he had the ability to break the barrier. However, what about Matthew? What if Aezera did something else to him while Cyril saved Diana? Then I remembered that I could summon Matthew to me. Really? Really? You just now remembered that you could summon Matthew to your side. Boy, what a slow bitch. Sorry, main character, but you are a bitch when it comes to that. You finally realize it. What if it helped him escape its spawn? There was enough time to decide. I shouted at last, calling out the first name that came to my mind. Cyril! Diana was in danger, and Matthew wasn't. I knew that his mother wouldn't hurt him, so I had to get Diana out of her predicament first. As Cyril's name reverberated from my lips, a bright light flashed through the room, causing Aezera to cover her eyes and making me and Matthew turn our heads.
What?
Oop, stuff. Cyril is pissed. He's like, bitch, you did not just touch my woman. You're about to get bitch slapped. And I'm a man. As quickly as it came, the light vanished, revealing Cyril holding Diana close to his body as she barely managed to stay afloat with her magic. The chains had been broken and were slowly fading away as Cyril glared intensely at Aezera. As she stared back in shock at who she saw.
What is this?
This is the trump card, bitch.
Saddle.
The guard didn't reply, only intent on holding on to Diana and doing something with his spear. Bad brain. But she grasped in a white-knuckled grip. Again, bad brain, bad brain. His body seemed to glow a white color that spread to gently engulf Diana's body in his own.
You dare lay your hands on my queen?
For that you will die. Goodbye! Aezera raised the spear up like a javelin. Aezera stepped back in fear. The weapon began to emit a dangerous gold color in his grasp, its aura flickering through the air.
Periat Celesti Bestia!
I'm just gonna take a guess and say it says something about, perish evil demon or something. Let the wicked beast. I think it says perish with the wicked beast or something like that. Something simple like that. Apparently, Matthew, your mom's a wicked bitch. Well, beast, bitch, same thing. They're both B words. With a strong throw, Saros shot his spear at Aezera, and she protectively brought her arms in front of her and formed a blue barrier around her body. The spear's blade slammed into the barrier and continued pushing against it, trying to reach its target. Get it, get it, get it, get it. The barrier was cracking as the spear attempted to pierce through it, but the cracks would seal themselves together as soon as they appeared. Aezera struggled to keep it from piercing through the barrier around her. Diana, barely hanging on to Zero, guided them both back towards me, landing safely on the ground next to me before Diana almost collapsed.
Is that you?
I'm fine.
No, you're not, bitch. However, Diana's eyes rolled into the back of her head, and forward she fell into Zero's arms. He tightened his hold on her, hugging her form to him as his eyes began to fill with panic. Oh god, Diana's out for the count now. Oh, forgot you were here. The sound of a heavy clatter echoed through the chamber as Zero's spear was finally knocked away and fell to the ground, no longer glowing. Aezera, however, seemed worn out from spending so much energy to defend against Zero's weapon, and the barrier around her faded away.
How? How does a demon have holy magic?
'Cause he can. I couldn't believe it. The spear was emanated holy magic? Then how was Aezera able to block it and push it away? The light in Aezera's eyes faded as she snarled at Zero before she moved her hands in front of her body again and shot out a large blue orb wrapped in black chains towards him. It cut through the air with a bullet-like speed, climbing into Zero and Diana's bodies before Zero had the chance to look up. Zero! Oh, fuck. They both flew backwards and slammed into the far wall, landing to the ground beside each other with a painful sounding pair of thuds. Zero! Diana! I looked back at Aezera, both furious and fearful of her. Aezera then sneered at me, stepping down from the throne dais to walk slowly towards me. I felt my body freeze at her glare. She wasn't throwing me again. I fought back with my willpower, trying to deny her any control over my form, but I remained as still as a statue, only able to breathe.
You waste of space! Do you really think you can just claim my son? He is about to serve a higher purpose and you are in his way! Don't you see that?
You are the waste of space, bitch. I gritted my teeth, fighting back harder. I could only feel waves of energy rush through me, ordering me to obey her mental commands, but I refused to acknowledge him. I wasn't going to give in to her.
All you are good for is being chained to a bed and milked of your energy like a good little harem girl. So much raw energy would be able to sustain him for decades!
Excuse me, bitch? Are you calling me a cow? If anyone's a cow, it's you. I mean, have you seen your body lately? Excuse me? You're calling me the cow? I'm slimmer than you are, bitch. And I have a fabulous body. You don't, so. I stared wide-eyed at her, feeling her energy surge into my body and seeing her smirk grow with each step she took toward me. Her eyes were glistening with sadistic rage.
Maybe that's what we'll do with you. You can be my son's favorite plaything. He'll always have a source of energy and will become powerful enough to completely rule over this world with an iron fist. While you get to live. Would you like that?
Hell no. My mind began to flash back to the nightmare I had of Matthew staring at me with a cold sadistic gaze and smile. I had to fight myself from shuddering as I battled with against Aezera's hold. Matthew will never listen to you.
Won't he? I've been draining him of his willpower this whole time. He won't be able to disobey me anymore.
My heart stopped and I could feel Aezera's hold over me as my spike of fear lowered my resolve. She was doing what? My eyes darted over to the throne, terror clutching at my heart. He was going to obey her? I looked to Matthew to see the chains disappear from his body as he slowly stood, his head down with his bangs shielding his eyes. I became wide-eyed as he slowly descended the dais and began walking towards his mother in a zombie-like fashion. Aezera looked over her shoulder at her son and chuckled before turning back to me.
Now, be a good boy and chain this. Ah!
My voice caught in my throat as I witnessed a blade running through Aezera's chest, making her gasp and tremble in shock. From behind her, Matthew lifted his head to reveal his tear-stained eyes. As he held onto the blade that he impaled his mother with a shaking grip, Aezera turned her head to try and look at him. Matthew!
What?
I'm sorry, but I love her.
My heart swelled in both love but despair. This wasn't fair to him, but it was between me or her or me. And Matthew made his choice.
Sakadu.
Goodbye, Mother.
Without another word, Matthew pulled the blade out from Aezera's body and swung it around his head, cutting a large gash into her back and forcing her down to the ground. My body became my own again as I crawled back from her falling body. Yeah, get the fuck out of Dodge. Aezera hit the ground and quickly went limp, lifeless at last. Matthew, however, gripped to his blade and stared at what he had done in both pain and shame. My heart began to cry for Matthew. He had struck down his own mother, one whom he had loved with every part of his being. This undoubtedly impacted him hard, and I knew I could never know what ran through his mind. Damien, help me. What's going on through Matthew's head? I slowly stood and walked over, standing before Matthew as he dropped his blade and averted his gaze to his side. Matthew? I slowly raised my arms to offer a hug, and instantly Matthew pulled me to him and pressed my body against his, burying his face into my shoulder. I could tell he was fighting back tears, but I couldn't stop himself from letting some go, pressing his forehead against my neck. All I could do was hold him and hug him with the same amount of force. It's over now. It's over. I gently ran my hands through Matthew's hair, trying to calm him down. Eventually, he let his sadness out, making us both collapse onto the floor, onto our knees, gripping to each other tightly. His fingers dug into my shirt, pressing it even harder against his chest as he wept in against my shoulder. I, however, was silent, trying to take everything in. The Demon Lord was dead, and so was Matthew's mother. The war had essentially been won. As the soft ruffle caught me and Matthew off guard, we turned to see Sarah and Diana leaning against the far wall, slowly rising and leaning to each other to remain on their feet.
Well, that was interesting, to say the least.
Yeah. Matthew didn't speak a word as he looked away from Diana. Sarah guided Diana over with a protective arm around her waist as she looked down at us.
Matthew, I'm sorry for what you had to do.
I know.
However, you saved the woman you loved.
Take off the... Technically, I'm not dead yet. It's supposed to say, however, you saved the woman you love. Matthew slowly turned to look me in the eyes as I did him. His face was stricken with tears, but his expression became one of slow acceptance.
She has been your rock ever since you met her. If you had let your mother control you, I would have killed both you and her.
And leave the poor main character heartbroken and devastated. As harsh as her words were, I could understand why she said them. Matthew and I stared into each other's eyes as we took in what Diana said. She was right. I loved him and was happy to have him alive in my arms. That was all that mattered. I smiled and took his head into my hands, leaning in and pressing my forehead against his. We're alive, and we could go home now. Matthew slowly grinned and nodded, cupping my head in his hands as well.
Yeah. We can go home now.
A loving laugh bounced between us as we finally let everything sink in. We were together, alive, and in love. We had won, and we were going to return to the human world and be together for the rest of our lives. I barely noticed the gang noise Diana made behind us.
Sarah, take me away from this. I'm feeling nauseous just looking at them.
Sato, however, chuckled and guided Diana out of the room, waving his hands over the air before exiting completely. As I looked around, the room became vacant of any damage or death. There were no bodies, nor any trace of blood. Matthew and I were alone to hold each other and wait until the horn sounded for the war to finally be over. Matthew gently pulled me close and rested my head on his chest, resting his chin on the top of my hair.
I love you.
I couldn't fight the smile that painted over my cheeks as I nuzzled close to Matthew, relaxing at last. I love you too. It was over. The war was finally over. Yay! Woo! Wee! Woo! Yay! Follow her. Woo! Yay!
I have to thank you, dear,
Hey. Really?
for aiding us in this war.
Woo!
To be very honest, I didn't expect to ever see you again. After I took your energy that night, I vowed to never deal with humans again. No clairvoyance could have told me about you coming into play in this war.
Ah. I was exactly planning on coming here. But at least I got to help bring peace here. Yay! Diana nodded, smiled, nodding to me. I was really glad to help bring peace to the world. I wasn't out of pride or vanity. It was a matter of helping people clearly in need.
We owe you much thanks.
I'll accept your thanks when I finally get married.
Oh, I had almost forgotten.
Huh?
A gift, my dear.
Again? Oh, the flower. Woo!
A flower known only to demons of Lilith. We call it the Flower of Lilith, because these flowers were said to have been created when Lilith first appeared. It is also a flower we succubi use when we marry.
Use? What do you mean? Oh.
A human you may be, but Lilith would have been proud to see you marrying one of her own.
Aw.
I guess this will be my last night, won't it?
Huh? I turned my head to Diana in confusion. She didn't look to me and continued to smile at the sky. What was she talking about? In Diana's hands formed a small goblet containing a dark liquid I assumed to be wine. She placed the goblet toward me on the balcony without looking and waited. She avoided looking towards me as she waited for something to happen. What was she? Then I felt a small weight in my pocket and memories flooded back to my mind. I stared at Diana in shock when I realized what she was doing. She knew? And she was willing to take it? I stared at the goblet, now measuring the worth of this action. The vial in my pocket could be so many things. A sleeping draught, a poison, acid. Diana, however, seemed to be accepting of whatever it was. I became suddenly conflicted. Did I want to do this to her? I don't want to betray Faye and them. But I've never done this, so... Give me. That way I can always come back and see if it leads me to a happy ending. I'm gonna click yes. Goodbye, my feelings. I bit my lip. It didn't feel right, but I knew what I had to do. I made a promise, and it had to be done. I silently took the vial from my pocket and corked it, feeling the magic of the liquid within wave from the open top. It had slightly foul stench, but before it could reach Diana's nose, I poured the contents into the goblet. The wine gently brightened from a purple to a green color. I swore for a second that it reflected a black skull within its reflection, but faded away almost as quickly as it appeared. I felt the crown of my head wither and fade away as I quietly tossed the vial off of the balcony rail behind me into the dark. For some reason, I felt like crying. I'm actually going to just ignore my thing and just finish this off because it's going to be emotional. I felt like crying, but I knew what had to be done. I finally cleared my throat, letting Diana what I had done. Diana finally turned to me and took the goblet, watching the liquid within glimmer in the moonlight. I could faintly hear Diana gulp to herself as she took the goblet in her hand and looked into it.
You know, I'm thankful it was you who did this.
I stared at Diana, feeling her gift drop from behind my ear and fall into the dark beyond the balcony. She continued to stare into her goblet with a very sad smile across her lips.
I don't deserve to rule this world. I've done what I set out to do, and now that the war is over, my job is done. I'm glad that you are the one to let me know that.
I don't want to do this, but I want to see the other ending. Diana! Diana shook her head, silencing me.
It's all right. I understand. As vain and prideful as it sounds, I'm too powerful to be left alive.
She then lifted the goblet and turned to face me slightly, closing her eyes and smiling as if it was nothing.
One last drink, then. For a job well done.
My heart squeezed tightly in my chest as I watched Diana lift the goblet to her lips and drink down what was within it. Her eyes tightened and her face grimaced with the consumption, most likely at the taste, but she drank the entire thing down. As she lowered the goblet to the railing, she took in a shaky breath and tightened her grip on the rail. Was it affecting her already?
I guess they wanted it to be painless. How kind.
I'm sorry.
Don't be. It's done.
I'm seriously sorry, Diana. Diana tossed the goblet into the dark and watched it arc through the air before fading into the night. She then turned and sat on the bed in the room, slumping slightly as she settled into the middle of it. I stared as the taint on her skin began to glow slightly. Oh my god, I'm crying. Holy shit. Diana looked up at me and smiled, leaning back against the bedpost.
You should go, dear. I'm sure your husband is waiting for you. May your journey back to the human world be safe. And may you live a happy life.
I couldn't say anything else to her. I nodded and left the room silent. I slowly made my way through the halls of the castle back toward where my fiancé and the rest of the group were. I was a murderer. I had technically usurped the throne from the almost queen, and now I had to live with that. However, I stopped as I spotted a figure ahead of me. Faye followed it just ahead of me with a look of sadness in their face. Why did they look that way? They weren't the ones who did the deed.
Did you...
I nodded, not able to speak. Their frown deepened before they floated over toward me, stopping in front of me.
It's for the best. I promise.
Oh my god, I'm actually crying. I killed Diana. I mean, I know naturally she dies, like, in the canon route, and there are other ways to keep her alive, but this is more heartbreaking. Oh, Diana, I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry. I had to put Jenna through this. I didn't want to speak to them. I had fulfilled my promise, and I would have to live with the memory of it forever. However, I didn't expect them to touch my head and cast a spell.
Time to forget now.
I stared wide-eyed, watching in surprise as my mind became lighter. Memories of what happened began to slowly dissolve, and my heart became lighter at the loss of memories. How dare you, Faye? We won't forget, but I know I'm going to get yelled at for killing Diana, but I want to see other endings. Holy shit. Now that I'm crying, my nose is going to be runny like a bitch. Was this some kind of joke? Before I knew it, I felt at ease of where I stood. I was in the middle hallway with Faye, unsure of why I was there. What had happened?
Hey, silly, what are you doing out here? Your ride back home is waiting for you.
I stared at Faye, confused but determined to return where I was. The others were waiting and I was about to go home. I nodded with a smile before walking back with them back to the main hall. I was going home.
Well, you
Yay!
did! Nevertheless, I never imagined that Anyways, huh? After the war was finished, you would think demons because of... Well, because you decided to kill Diana, the rebels were able to take over and unite the world under their rule. I still will never understand why you did it, but I guess you had your reasons.
Mm.
I'll be honest, though. They don't exactly work well together. While the world accepted them as the rulers, the four of them really couldn't get it together. So they decided that only one of them should rule while the others should be advisors. It took them a while to decide who to let take the crown. In the end, Faye took up the throne. Their growth in training you and their instinct to point out possible dangers became a well-valued asset at the top of the world. But Fae demons aren't really the most responsible demons in the world.
Faye, be nice to Faye.
Soon enough, Faye left the throne, tired of trying to rule and escape to a remote part of the world, bent on rebuilding the clan that they had lost to the Demon Lord before the war happened.
Yay!
The other demons tried to fix what they had done, but soon their rule crumbled and the world went back to being as it was, separated by kingdom and caste. And I believe that is Matthew and you went back to... How...
Well, fuck this. The wedding day, which was rescheduled without issue, became as perfect as I imagined it to be. The ceremony was perfect, and the reception filled with food, cake, streamers, and everything a perfect party should have. Our night became filled both with excitement, fun dancing, and a feeling of perfection as the realization hit me. I was at last married to the man of my dreams. Yay. Let's see. Matthew helped escalate the Anderson Toy Company to new heights with his brother and became a head designer for toys. He began to pump out idea after idea, becoming a master toy maker like my grandfather was. Yay! After all, my husband was being a master toy designer. Woo! The memories of our final fight with the Demon Lord and Aezera still haunted me slightly. But it only showed how passionate Matthew was with keeping me safe and remaining as my own. Aww. Yay. Still, there were some fun moments while the others only proved to me how strong I was and how strong my love for me and Matthew was nothing in disguise. I sat at the dining room table, looking over the multiple photos that were taken from the wedding. There were so many goofy smiles, embraces, and tear-jerky moments that spanned through every picture. Now remember, in my head, she's the middle, not the middle, the second youngest of 5, like Matthew. So the siblings are there just in the pictures. I could imagine one having Violet giving both of them a noogie while Sam laughing in the corner, or laughing in the background, just having his hand behind his head and rubbing his hair like he normally does. And Allie and James both shaking their heads. And Heidi and Erik hiding their laughter. And then the other two just staring wide-eyed. And then all the other stuff. I felt myself grinning at the sight of each one, remembering vividly each moment as it was shot and captured in nostalgic euphoria. I almost want to go back in time and relive it all over again, just to feel the emotions run through me once again at the first time through. What do you think, Simon? I looked to my furry friend, pointing at an image that managed to catch him jumping for the bridal garden in a surprisingly human form. How he managed to learn that, I would never know, but I was excited to have him excited to have had him as a guest since that was just my lucky charm. Simon wobbled over from his spot, looking at the image, and gave me a silly grin. Still looked a little evil, but I had begun to recognize which of his smiles were actually filled with ill intent and which were genuine. I giggled and slid it over to him, picking it up off the table and handing it to him, and watching him sit back with his fluffy tail, looking at it in awe. I guess pictures were still a wonder to Simon, since they didn't move. Shaking my head, I began to slowly pile the rest of the images together, eager to store them away for the future and frame some up just for the sake of the memories. As I did, Matthew walked into the room, his hands behind his back with a smile. Oh, hey, Matthew.
Hey, what you doing?
Oh, I was just looking at our wedding photos. I got a bit nostalgic, you know? Matthew nodded and walked over, them, looking over them over my shoulder. However, attempted to be sly and look over at his in return to try and glimpse at what he might have had behind his back. Surprise! To my surprise, there was nothing there, making Matthew smirk and laugh.
Look, I know I have a nice butt, but you don't need to try and sneak a peek at it, okay?
Oh my god, Matthew! I gave Matthew a playful lap on the shoulders. Both of us began to laugh wildly at the joke. Matthew was the first to calm down, wrapping an arm around my shoulder and continued to look at the pictures.
Man, it's been like, what, a couple months since the wedding, right?
Yeah, how time flies. I laid my head on Matthew's shoulders. Shoulder? Again, I'm making it plural. Letting my emotion drift into a state of calm and serenity in his half embrace. With a chuckle, Matthew lowered his head and kissed the top of my hair before nuzzling it with his cheek.
I still remember it. Oh, I was so nervous saying my vows.
Me too. It was like a dream from long ago. Both of us reveled in the memory of us exchanging vows and saying I do to one another. I could feel the rush of happy realization wash over me as I affirmed it to myself. Matthew was my husband. Matthew grinned before kissing my temple and standing up straight, placing his hands behind his back once again. When he brought them forward, I was shocked to see him bring out another gift box, beautifully wrapped and tied with a bow. Huh? Matthew, what is this?
Something that I think you and Simon will like.
You didn't give him another fucking knife again, did you? The last one he did, he wound up impaling it in the chairs, and we had to fix those. Simon perked up at the sound of his name as I straightened up in my chair, now beyond curious of what was in the box. As slowly unwrapped it, I gasped at what popped out of it. Another doll? But she is so cute. Aw, Samantha. That's going to be her name. The community has spoken. It shall be named Samantha. She is so cute. Aw, and so are you, Matthew. I'm getting used to you without a shirt. It's so cute. Bursting from the now open top was a fluffy doll that looked almost like Simon, but with a bow on its head and a cute curl in its fur. It looked around and hopped onto the table, skittering over to Simon. Of course, Simon branched his toy knife, but stopped as the doll came up close and sniffed at him, grinning at him and hopping around him excitedly. A couple of sniffs from Simon caused him to do the same to his new friend.
I figured since we're married and stuff, maybe it was time to get Simon a playmate of his own. You know?
I smiled at the two furry dolls bouncing around each other, now excited for their new company, and stood. Walking over to Matthew, he lowered the box and wrapped his arms around me, grinning down at me as I nuzzled my nose to his. You are the absolute best, you know that?
I do my best for you.
Matthew raised his hand and brushed a strand of hair behind my ear before cupping my cheek. I felt his warmth radiant from my hands, causing me to lean into it and smile. I love you, Matthew. I love you so much. I love you so, so much.
I love you too, more than anything. And I'll always be here with you, working to keep a smile on your face.
I could stop my smile from growing back and before leaning in and kissing Matthew lovingly, feeling him kiss back with the same amount of love and passion I had. He would always be here with me, and no one would be able to take him away from me. I would be here, arms wide open for him, and I would fill him with my love for as long as I lived. And that was my perfect happily ever after. Yay! Matthew is done. I don't even know how long I was going. Mobby! But I can't believe this playthrough, I did the dumb idea of killing Diana with poison. Because I didn't get that. It was just... why did I do that? I mean, I should have done this like off screen and balled into a pillow later, but I figured I'd want to go through it with you guys, and boy, the emotion that you get. Oh my god, Michaela, quit killing our feels. It's just. Ay, ay, ay. I am. I'm lucky. I can't even speak because my brain. Christopher Escalante, you really teared at our heart. Screw you, Christopher, but not really. Yeah. Half of the. Wow, I just remembered. I do only have 2 routes technically left. Oh, fuck me. It's gonna be sad when I'm done. It's just. sad. That once I'm done with those 2 routes, in both games actually, I'm done. I mean, I still have the extra, like, epilogues and stuff. I got the beach download, so I can play that too. But it just hit me now. I'm almost done with this game. I mean, I can still replay it, but I'm done playing it for you guys. After I'm done with Diana's routes in both, I'm gonna be super sad. I'm gonna be very, very sad. I mean, I don't wanna. I can't believe I actually started crying though. I literally had tears in my eyes. It was just sad. But yeah, Planes Inside is a good. These are both good games. Yay, Michaela, you know how to sing. She sang both of the Amigdon themes, did you know? And then there's the whole thing. But Michaela, you little emotion toying bitch, you. I love you, but you put too much into our brain and our hearts. This has become like. I've seen so many walkthroughs of both games that I'm surprised it took over YouTube like the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. It was amazing, yet I was stunned. These 2 games have taken the internet by storm. And Michaela, I got all of her links. You've noticed I put them in all of my videos, starting with James, because I was a dum-dum with Sam's and didn't want to put it in there because I was lazy. But all of the links are in the description, and I would I'd give her all my money if I could, just to make her push out the other epilogues, because she is working so damn hard. It's just, yippee! Anyway, I will see you guys in the next, which I think, yeah, it's gonna be one of the 2 remaining bubbles, Damien and Diana. How ironic that the last 2 are D's. Anyway, remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and thank you so much for watching me. I don't say it often in my videos, but it's because I'm just so pumped to keep pumping out videos. Thank you, and remember to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Which is gonna be a while. Because my birthday's coming up. Anyway, bye!